Well, hello, students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Jay, and on today's lesson, we're going to learn English through story with a read and repeat story, but I'm going to focus on words that have O-O-K. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention. We're going to have some fun and learn some English. Make sure you drop down into the description of today's lesson and you can read along with today's story. Also, I will go over key vocabulary words and expressions to help you with your comprehension and your vocabulary. So let's dive into today's lesson. Cliff, a diligent man, works at the bank during a blizzard outside. You repeat that. Cliff, a diligent man, works at the bank during a blizzard outside. Now, someone that is diligent, they're earnest in their efforts. They're hardworking. They're not lazy. And so today's story is about a hardworking man named Cliff. He took a quiet look at the snowy scene through the window. He took a quiet look at the snowy scene through the window. Now, do you notice the two words that have O-O-K? They rhyme, took and look. When you take something, you grasp it, or you take a look. That means you take a moment to see what something looks like or appears to be. Okay, so notice today the words that have O-O-K, took and look. The snowflakes softly shook the trees, creating a picturesque winter view. I will read and you repeat. The snowflakes softly shook the trees, creating a picturesque winter view. Picturesque. Picturesque. So a picturesque view is something that you see with your own eyes, but it's as if you're looking at a postcard or you're looking in a magazine, something that looks like a picture that someone took, but you're actually looking at how beautiful the scenery is for yourself. Did you notice the O-O-K word in this sentence? Shook, shook, shook. Okay. The snowflakes softly shook. Okay. Ooh, shook, or to shake. So when the snow landed on the trees shook. Inside, Cliff took a book off the shelf to pass the time. Let's read and repeat. Inside, Cliff took a book off the shelf to pass the time. Do you notice the two words that are in O-O-K? Took and book. Of course, a book is a piece of literature that we read. He looked through the pages, enjoying the stories within. Let's read and repeat. He looked through the pages, enjoying the stories within. The bank's atmosphere took on a cozy and bookish feel. Let's read and repeat. The bank's atmosphere. 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 Sometimes the T is silent. Atmosphere. Or you may say atmosphere. Took on a cozy and bookish feel. So a bookish feel is relating to a book. So he was reading and he got comfortable. He was in a place of work, but he had gotten at ease, or now he was using work for leisure time. Cliff took another look outside, noting the thick blanket of snow covering the streets. Let's read and repeat. Cliff took another look outside, noting the thick blanket of snow covering the streets. So in English, we describe a lot of snow as being a thick blanket. Okay. A thick blanket of snow is how we communicate a lot of snow. He shook off the cold from his coat and continued organizing paperwork. Let's read and repeat. He shook off the cold from his coat and continued organizing paperwork. Organizing. The clock ticked as Cliff took a break, grabbing a hot cup of cocoa from the nook. Let's read and repeat. The clock ticked as Cliff took a break, grabbing a hot cup of cocoa from the nook. So a nook is a cabinet or a pantry. One way you can keep warm when it's snowing outside is by drinking hot cocoa, or we call it hot chocolate, or some people prefer coffee, or some people prefer tea. With a warm mug in hand, he took a moment to look around at the familiar bank surroundings. Let's read and repeat. With a warm mug in hand, he took a moment to look around at the familiar bank surroundings. Now, one word that's key in this text is familiar. Familiar. Okay, so Cliff was looking at something that he was accustomed to. He was familiar. Okay, if you're married, you should be familiar with your wife. Okay, used to, accustomed to. Okay, someone who is not strange or unknown. The blizzard's intensity shook the windows, making the atmosphere even more book friendly. Let's read and repeat. The blizzard's intensity. So something that is intense is strong. Okay. The wind was blowing intense or strongly. The blizzard's intensity shook the windows, making the atmosphere even more book friendly. Cliff looked out once more, appreciating the beauty of the winter storm. Now, when you appreciate something, you are grateful. So during a snow blizzard, even though it's cold, sometimes you can be grateful for how beautiful it looks. Let's read and repeat this sentence. Cliff looked out once more, appreciating the beauty of the winter storm. Back to work, he took another look at the financial reports, focused and determined. Let's read and repeat. Back to work, he took another look at the financial reports, focused and determined. So a financial report are simply a summary of money transactions, whether it's income or expenses. Okay. As the blizzard outside shook the world, Cliff's concentration on his bookkeeping duties remained unshaken. Okay, concentration. Okay, so he was focused. He was paying close attention. Okay, he was not easily distracted. Let's read and repeat. As the blizzard outside shook the world, Cliff's concentration on his bookkeeping duties remained unshaken. The day passed with Cliff working diligently, finding comfort in the rhythm of the ticking clock and the occasional look outside. Let's read and repeat. The day passed with Cliff working diligently, finding comfort in the rhythm of the ticking clock and the occasional look outside. The end. Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's read and repeat lesson. This story, we learned about Cliff working at the bank during a blizzard. And I hope you go back and watch this story, listen to the key words, especially the words that end in OOK. There were a number: look, took, book, nook, shook. Okay, and you notice they all rhyme. Okay, nook, book, shook, rook. Well, they didn't have rook, but you understand now. So let me know down in the comment section, what are other words that have OOK? We learned book, nook, shook, took, and look. And I said rook, which is a piece on a chessboard. What are other words that begin or have the OOK in them? Let me know down in the comment section. I'd like to say thank you so much for watching today's lesson. I hope you have learned and encouraged yourself on your English journey. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. And if you enjoy my content, be sure to like and turn on that notification bell so you can join me at each lesson I have here on the channel. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. And I hope you tell a friend. And most of all, I hope you join me on my next English lesson. Have a great day.